got 789, Felix the Brat. Number 8, Debaser. Number 90, Furious Fab. And coaching for the villains tonight are Zilla and Shortcake. There you have it, the Margarita villain.
All right. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and your opposing team tonight, also your hometown. These are your Bells of the Brawl, ladies and gentlemen. All right, number 12, Hot Cross Buns. Number 120, 60 Hertz. 128, T Reckless. Number 13, Dally Slava. Number 14, Snap, Crackle, Pop. Number 180, Rip Curl. 1900, Ruby D. Vixen. Number 21, Psycho Bunny. 2x4, Nail Her Down. Number 3, Jack Widow. 333, Mofo. 609, Teddy Grams. I like that. Number 69, Slaya Patra. And rounding out your squad, 800 BC 3PO. And your coaches tonight, Bieber Coach and Rage. These are your Bells of the Brawl. I like being able to actually enjoy the rock and music instead of playing it or rotation. It's great. All right, we also got to make sure that this sport wouldn't happen if it weren't for your referee squad here. So let's give it up for the on-skate officials for tonight. Let's have a round of applause for them. And then a lot of people you can't really see behind the scenes. They're NSOs, your non-skating officials. They are also running all of the point scores and all of the things that you can't see behind the scenes. So let's have a round of applause for them as well.
And another big thank you to all of the volunteers who are here tonight making the magic happen. Thank you. All right, first whistle is blown. You see both jammers still struggling to get through the pack. Wife of Wrath bouncing around, trying to make her way through. Still no lead jammer yet. Both stuck in the pack. Wife of Wrath, our lead jammer.
Wife of the Round coming around. Rip Curl still trapped behind the skaters there in the pack. And as you can see, your Margarita Village Jammer is coming around now, but each player that she passes on the opposing team will result in 1 point. So of course, it is the pink team's responsibility to try and hold her back as long as possible, thereby preventing any points being scored against her.
Wife of Wrath falls off the jam. 4 points.
All right, so can anyone show me the symbol for calling off a jam? Anyone know what it is? Yeah, there it is. So when you see the jammer, which is the player with the star on their helmet, tapping their hips, that means they are calling the play off. And then we're lining up again to start another jam.
And the Rock, only the jammer who makes it out of the pack and makes it lead jammer can call off the jam. If there is no lead jammer, the jam goes a full 2 minutes.
Thank you. I was worried you were going to ask me some crazy hard question that I wouldn't be able to answer.
Both jammers still struggling to make it out of the pack.
Ooh, Jack Widow, first three, and she's your lead jammer, folks.
The Bells are putting up some solid defense.
Jack Widow sneaks around to the inside for her first scoring pass.
And makes the grand slam, 5 points.
One player from each team in the penalty box right now, which you can see over between the players' benches. And Jack Widow sneaks it through for another point-scoring pass. Never forget that the action that you see on the track, ladies and gentlemen, is very real out here. These are some tough, top-notch athletes that you're seeing skate this evening.
Jack Widow stuck behind 3 black players, trying to get through those villains.
And the villains are making it easy for her there. Very nice recycling. And you can see Jack Widow there trying to get a couple extra steps to try and sneak out those last couple points, but the Margarita villain blockers nicely protected themselves. Wow, thank you.
Wow. I have to tell you, someone just walked up to me with a cupcake. I've been craving cupcakes for a very long time.
Wow. You know, it's funny, I buy cupcakes from this store quite often, but I never get to enjoy one myself, so that's
Well, these are cupcakes by Heather and Lori. Wife of Brad, trying to make her way out of the pack, and she's out, and lead jammer, way to go, wife of Brad. Wow.
Look at her go around 3, turns 3 and 4 there, coming up on the pack. To score some points here. And sneaking around, your Margarita Village jammer. Nice point scoring pass.
5 points for Wow.
I never knew how hard it was to announce a cupcake in your mouth.
The Bell's jammer, Dolly Slim, makes it out of the pack. And the jam is still up before Slim can make any points.
And so this is a great example, ladies and gentlemen, of even though you saw quite a big point spread there for the Bells of the Brawl, the Margaritaville's are now taking the lead change and are out in front 16 to 13. Things can change in roller derby in a very short time.
All it takes is one jammer going to the box and you can get the lead.
Lots of pushing and shoving as Rip Girl tries to break through the back of the pack there for the Bells of the Brawl.
We've got Hits and Giggles jamming for the villain, and Rip Girl jamming for the villain.
Last minute effort there to knock Rip Girl out of bounds. And
Mofo executing some strong defense. And this is out of the pack. And Rip Girl getting some hit around by some villains right at the front of the pack. We're cycling back up and each taking a go at her. She didn't make it out. And she is lead, and so she calls it off.
Lots of different things happening there. If a blocker hits the jammer out, the jammer cannot enter back into the pack in front of that blocker. But if the same blocker that hit the jammer out goes out as well, the jammer is allowed to enter right back into the pack, as you saw on that hit 2 laps ago. 16-16 tie game here, folks. This is roller derby at its finest. Let's hear it from both of your hometown teams.
Got Fondles versus Jack Widow jamming. Both very strong jammers, and Jack Widow makes it out of the pack first, getting lead jammer status. The Bells are focused on holding back Fondles right now. Some strong defense.
Fondal still trying to break through for her initial pass here. Jack Widow just biding her time at the back of the pack, watching for an opening.
And Fondles gets called off. Oh, she does not get called off.
coming through for another scoring pass. Bells of the Brawl doing an excellent job up front there, trying to keep their player back. Hot toss punts, slowing down Fondals as long as possible, but Fondals is through the pack, ladies and gentlemen. Which is a very smart strategic move. As soon as she saw the opposing jammer coming up to the pack or getting close to scoring, she wisely called off the jam. All right, Dally Slamma jamming for your Bells of the Brawl up against the Wife of Wrath.
The Wife of Wrath.
I like that. I've never, it's a great name.
It's a good name. Shortened it, you could just call her Wow.
Your Margarita villains not out of this fight by any stretch of the imagination. Wife of Wrath coming around.
The Bell's working some offense, trying to get Slamma out of the pack.
Wife of Wrath on a big scoring pass.
That's a grand slam. It's 5 points because she passed the opposing jammer as well.
And this is a great example too. The Bells of the Brawl have a blocker in the penalty box right now. Of course, anyone not skating on the track is dangerous as they cannot help block the opposing jammer.
And Wife of Wrath calls off the jam with another 5 points.
A little sneaky maneuver there, just to jump out front and then calls it off.
As soon as her hips pass the opposing blocker's hips, that's when they get the points. So as soon as she's passed, she can call it off right away.
Maybe we should sing Hips Don't Lie tonight. maybe we shouldn't.
Maybe we shouldn't.
We shouldn't do that. All right. We have some other sponsors to shout out, I think, don't we? Next jam.
So this is the power jam for the Margarita villains. They've got Scary Antoinette jamming.
And you can see they set up a little bit differently there because the Bells of the Brawl.
The Bells of the Brawl are on penalty kill right now. Slam is in the box. There's only one blocker for the Bells on the track right now.
And this is a situation you don't see that often. Only one blocker was on the track there. Everything was up to her.
When the penalty box is full, you're waiting back onto the track to continue skating, and you'll serve your penalty when the spot comes open in the box for you.
Scary Antoinette on a tear there with her amazing juke around the two Bells blockers. Looks like they're talking amongst themselves, trying to put together a strategy to stop this black jammer.
The villains have her, holding her at the back of the pack. Some strong defense, nice score wall. Oh, smack around in the back.
And then also another smart time to call the jam off. I don't know if the penalty was served. I guess it must have been before they blew the whistle. So we will start this next jam with both jammers on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another lead change. Your Margarita villains, 46. Bells of the Brawl, 27. This is a sport too that really helps your team out if you cheer and applaud them. They're flattery operated out here, ladies and gentlemen, so if you see your team doing something that you love, let them know.
The Bells of the Brawl have called themselves a timeout. They get 3 timeouts per game.
Rotten apples. So let's give it up for our junior skaters. Your island-owned Derby kids. Margarita villains on a point streak tear. One blocker still in the box for the Bells.
The Rip Girl still trying to get through her initial pass.
So you can see the bells of the Brawl here lining up. That means they are on a power jam. So they will stand aside and just let their jammer do the work and push the other players out of play until they're forced to let them go.
So because we do not have a lead jammer for this jam, this one will go the full 2 minutes.
It is only the lead jammer that can call off the jam.
You know, LaRock, I think the bells could tie up this game in this power jam.
And that's another reason, like I was saying earlier, that anything can change in Derby. As you see a big hit to Rip Curl. And the Margaritaville is skating back, which forces Rip Curl to skate back and come in behind them. You can see Rip Curl trying to call it off, but like Skank Zappa just said, if you are not lead jammer, you do not have the ability to call off the jam.
In fact, if you do succeed in calling off the jam when you're not lead jammer, that is a minute penalty.
Margaritaville is not out of this fight by any means. Skating around, hopefully get some points.
Wiper Brown back with a vengeance.
Much different strategy needed here. When no one has the ability to call off the jam, you skate hard until the very end. 50-42 in favor of your Margarita Villains. 16:39 left in the first half. What a great way to end the season. So does anyone in the crowd know who the league champions were last season? Does anyone know who won last year? The Bells of the Brawl. So the Margarita Bells. They definitely have a score to settle this year.
They certainly do.
Penalty to the Bells of the Brawl.
2 bells in the box right now. Fondle, lead jammer. She's going to try to get some points.
Frank's red hot and scary Antoinette out front there trying to hold back all of their pink blockers.
Fondle makes it through with 5 points. Fondle makes it through the pack again with 5 points for the Margarita Villains.
Ooh, and another Bells of the Brawl penalty there. Only one blocker left for the Bells of the Brawl trying to hold them back. You can see scary Antoinette on the offense there, trying to help out her jammer. And of course, that's all part of Derby strategy here. Sometimes you want to be passive and let the jammer do the work, and then sometimes you want to go up and help them out, make a hole for them so they can get through and score some points. Fondle's pushing that pack until it was out of play. And that's the end of the jam. A big 71-43. 14 minutes left in this half, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for your Margarita Villains. That little kid just walked by. I was like, hi, and they just went right by. I thought it was for me. All right, Jack Widow out there against Hits and Giggles. See the villain setting up here for Jack Widow's next pass. His long legs pushing, trying to push them out of play. And again, Jack Widow successful in blowing right through, trying to tighten up this score as much as possible on this power jam advantage.
They're just waiting for Jack Widow to go through. She wants to push those villains up until they're out of play, and they have to let her go.
You saw the little jammer sandwich happening there as the two Margarita trying to push it. Not enough to stop Jack Widow. So it looks like Dennis Slam is going off. Perhaps maybe a failure to reform penalty there. One less jammer. And now we have Hits and Giggles back in trying to even this thing up for the Margarita villains. Lots of time in between as Hits and Giggles tries to catch up. As she saw Hits and Giggles coming up, but she had already committed the penalty, so she wasn't able to call it off. 76-74, ladies and gentlemen. This is a tight hometown match here.
The villains are going to start this jam with a power jam. Scary internet jamming.
I want to try my power cupcake at some time.
Scary Antoinette has about a minute here to see how many points she can rack up on a power jam. Just flies right through.
Penalties were always a dangerous thing, especially within the new rule set here. Gives the other team the opportunity to catch up or go ahead in a big way, as we're seeing Scary Antoinette racking up the Grand Slams.
It doesn't help that there are two bells blockers in the box as well, so they don't have much defense against Scary right now.
You may notice too the points going up by 5 every time. A point is scored for each player that is sitting in the penalty box as well. So it also makes it even more dangerous to get a penalty.
So we just saw Scary Antoinette call off the jam. Looks to me like they want to have a whole new jam with starting off as a power jam.
It's also smart timing as well, because then you know that you're starting the next jam with opposing players in the penalty box, so it gives you that advantage right off the line.
Absolutely.
All right, we're off again here on our next jam. Margarita villains fighting ferociously to break through, and your lead jammer, the Wrath.
Right for Wrath. Or you could just call it wow.
Wow. Strong as Jack Widow's pushing, she's having trouble to break through, but finally does.
The villain's coach, Villa, tells Wow to call off the jam.
Smart move just before Jack Widow was able to score some points. The jam was called off. 98-73, your Margarita villains here. 8:42 left in the first half. Just long enough to go get yourself a cupcake. A cupcake and a beer.
Cupcakes go great with beer. Actually, cupcakes go great with everything.
I think beer goes great with everything, so
Cups too.
maybe we could go on a date sometime.
That sounds pretty fun.
Ooh, Rip Curl trying to sneak through the back there, not able to. That See the double team hit there, hot cross buns going into the lane and hit Hudson Smack. And it's a great example too that as long as you're moving in the derby direction, you can turn around and you can make hits. As we saw hot cross buns lay down on Hudson Smack. Wife of Wrath back here, she's been seeing lots of action against number 3 for Brawl, Jack Widow on the line. It makes me nervous waiting for that whistle sometimes.
As soon as you hear the 5 seconds.
Both jammers out of the pack now. We have a jammer race, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for your jammers out there.
Some very, very fast skating by the pack as well.
And again, Jack Widow trying to call off that jam was not the jammer. She is now sitting in the box and we have a power jam for the Margarita Melons. Wife of Brown. I think the jean shorts make her skate faster. What do you think?
I agree. I've skated for the Villains before, and actually wearing jean shorts did make me skate faster.
You know firsthand.
I know firsthand.
It was like my favorite running shoes helped me run faster when I was a kid.
Wow, makes it out again. Another 5-point grand slam. Psycho Bunny turned around backwards.
Really great track talk, I was going to say, about Psycho Money there, getting her players all on a roll so they can block as a team, always better than blocking as an individual. And Wife of Wrath calls off the jam. Every second that a blocker can hold the opposing jammer back really does make a difference here. Seconds count in Derby. 1:16.74, Margarita over Bells in the Brawl.
We have Jack Widow in the box, jamming for the bells. She's standing, which indicates that she has less than 10 seconds left of her penalty. Not that I've ever gone to the penalty box, I don't know that firsthand at all.
That also gives the team an indication that the jammer will return to the track.
Scary Antoinette makes the lead jammer. And Jack Widow still battling to get out of the pack.
She is not giving up though. You can see Jack Widow pushing her way up around turns 1 and 2 right now, trying to catch that back. Scary Antoinette, a little hop, skip, and a jump as she stays in bounds and then calls off the jam. This is where stamina really comes into play here as we wind down this first half.
That's right, we've got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left of the first period. We have Dallas Lemma jamming for the bells. And we even got Felix and Brown for the Villains. And she is the jammer.
Is this Felix the Brown's first penalty?
I think it is, actually.
Very nice maneuver there, perhaps, by the Margarita Melons. Cycling in, new jammer with some new energy there.
This is some beautiful defense by Emily Smart. Taking back Slamma for an entire lap, one-on-one.
Slamma sneaking through and finally on the pack. Felix the Brown hot on her heels and calls off the jam. All right, we've seen this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for your jammers, Bondo and Rip Curl out there right now. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Show some love for these ladies working really hard for your entertainment out there tonight. Whistle signals, we are underway once more.
We see the Villains still enjoying a pack advantage with 3 blockers, whereas the Bells only have 2 blockers on the track right now.
Margarita in third, Rip Curl still not out of the
Beautiful hit by Smack Hudson on Rip Curl.
Is that Hudson Smack? Playing the SmackDown.
She certainly is.
She's not called Hudson Smack for nothing.
Bundles makes it through the Grand Slam with 5 points. Rip Curl still stuck in the pack. She's working hard to get out.
Really great recycling by the villains right now too. Even when they get trapped near the back, you can see them fighting hard to join up with their other blockers at the front of the pack, trying to keep Rip Curl in check. Looks like the jam is done. Not soon enough, though, to stop Rip Curl from getting, it looked like a couple points, maybe?
I think she did. I think she got 3. This could very well be the last jam, the first period. Just over a minute left on the clock. We have a score 132 for the villains, 77 for the Bells.
Let's have a round of applause for our 2 score girls running around with our signs here. They're putting in just as much effort.
The frenzy being held back in the front by Slamma. Beautiful one-on-one blocking. And she has to let her go.
And that's the end of your first half, ladies and gentlemen. Start the second half. Let's hear it, Victoria, for the Eves of Destruction season finale.
We've got Fondals jamming for the villains and Jack Widow for the Bells.
They talk about during the halftime. It looks like the Bells are on a tear here starting this second half off.
Looks like Bells are working on their defense.
And I also like to see it when the big hit comes, but we have Fallen Dolls standing up that last block attempt. And the jam pulled off just before Fallen Dolls was able to score any points. That's what we always say on my team, at least. Even 2 or 3 point jams can win a game. You just keep edging away at that lead, and anything can change in Derby.
It's also known as hit it and quit it Derby.
I've known a few other things that were called hit it and quit it, but this one's strictly sports related, folks.
Making her way out of the pack first and getting lead jammer status. Rip Curl takes a hard hit from Frank's Red Hot. And Frank's goes off.
And you see her putting on the wheels there last minute to try and get that hit in, and it was successful. Margarita villains not giving up on trying to protect that lead. Rip Curl finally through the pack here.
Hudson Snack pulls off the jam.
It's always good too, if your team's aware of when you call it off, you can use that to your advantage to try and pick the spot that you want on the jammer line as well.
Yes. Some teams, like the Bells right now, like to line up, be a back wall. First line of defense.
136.85 for Margarita villains. I think, yeah, that's good. We can see some people. I think every time the girls go around, we need a wave to support their hard work tonight.
Jack Widow sneaks through. Experience with a hot-off reveal. It's a jammer race.
I love the look of determination on their faces as they bust through. too, that as soon as you hear that whistle blow, you skate 3 or 4 good strides to make sure that you don't become that last second point by the other team.
That's right, a lot of jammers rack up points that way. The jam is actually not called off until the 4th whistle. So you have a little bit of time in there to try to get a few more points.
Clock still running here, 1:36.87, 26:55 left. Really tight start to this jam here as Fawn Dolls getting locked up by that big pink. Hudson Smack, the pivot going to the penalty box, it looks like. Rip Curl out of the tail of Fawn Dolls here. Ooh, Fawn Dolls getting hit, unable to penetrate that tight pink wall. You're blushing.
Oh, Rock, I'm always blushing around you. Our girl makes it through 5 points on her power jam. Villains are setting up their defense in front. Rip Curl just trying to push the skaters out of play.
Ooh, and on that last attempt to keep Rip Curl contained, a penalty assessed to Margarita villains. So the bells of the Brawl closing that gap. Let's hear it for them, ladies and gentlemen. Give them some energy out there. Rip Curl trying to call it off, not able to.
She was the lead jammer.
Still a dangerous position for the Margarita villains here as Rip Curl comes around for another scoring pass.
The Bells bridging back, forcing Fawn Dolls back on the track.
All right, 136 to see how many points Rip Curl with another full 5, 108. Very nice run there by the Bells of the Brawl. Give it up for them.
We actually have a 30-point spread. That 30 points can be covered in one power jam. Boys and Brats struggling behind that pink wall at the back. The Bells defense is just beautiful, holding her back on the 4 wall.
Jack Wood reporting to the penalty box. So now we have a power jam for the Margarita villains. All right, White and Graf now coming around on the scoring pass here. Dangerous position for the Bells of the Brawl. 23:40 left in this half.
That's a nice offense to the villains right there, distracting the blockers so WoW can get through faster. Scary Jeanette likes to skate up and take some action from the bumper jammer.
That's a really great maneuver here, the Messer upper, as it's politically correctly called. Another scoring pass for White and Graf.
Quite the crowd pulls off just as Jack Widow stands in the box again. That indicates that she only has 10 seconds left of her penalties.
And very smart because that means the next jam will start once again for a few seconds with no jammer on the track from the Bells of the Brawl.
It gives Fawn Dolls a better chance of getting the jammer.
All right, if you're looking for some energy-saving solutions, call McNeil Heating.
That's hot.
It's hot. can see her just digging super deep in the first half of this second half, trying to shut down those black jammers. Margarita Villains pull it off. 151-116, 20 minutes left. Even with this point spread, still anyone's bout, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta give a shout out for the Zone 91.3. The definition of a zoner.
That would be musically intelligent, socially conscious, slays dragons, awesome.
And you.
Me? Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Alright, we've got Scary Internet, jamming for the villains. Psycho Bunny for the bell.
Psycho Bunny working hard in the front of the pack there.
White Rat just
You can see that pink blocker come in there and give her a hand. Mofo going to the box, but not after helping Psycho Bunny out there with a well-placed block, and she...
You know, I think that penalty was worth it.
Brilliant. You can see her stick that outside line there. Not allowing herself to be pushed out of bounds. Hot on the heels of the villain's Scary Antoinette.
Scary looks to her coach to see if she should call it, and just go, keep going. Let's get some more points, she said.
That's also something cool from the sidelines. You can notice the communication back and forth with the coaches on the bench, a very important skill for any derby player.
Well done, Scary Internet makes her points. It's 4 points and then falls off.
Really good timing too, at least for them. 2 blockers still in the penalty box for Bells in the Brawl, so Rip Curl will only have 2 pink players out there giving her a hand. $162-118 according to our 2 little score girls.
We've got Rip Curl and Smack Hudson jamming for this one, and Smack is out of the jammer. Rip Curl's still stuck behind 4 black blockers.
Rip Curl with a nice little peek there, trying to sneak through the inside. Manages to get in before she can get sucked back. Hudson Smack. Sneaks through on the inside line.
The Rip Curl still fighting to get through, does a really nice 360, although her number is 180.
She is not quitting as she still trying to break through that big black wall.
She's going to the box for a pass.
And so that indicates that we have a what?
Power jam. Naylor holding back Smack until she has to let her go. She's 20 feet in front of the pack. Slays her skates up, skates some offense, trying to help Smack through. And she gets a penalty for destruction. Smack Hudson goes to the box, which will release the Bells jammer. And we'll have a power play for the Bells. And Curl back on the track, and the jammer falls off.
Good timing on it. I guess as soon as she enters the track, at least that means that they'll start the next jam with the jammer. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Now Smack Hudson only has to serve the amount of time that the Bells jammer was in the box. Which which is more than likely not a full minute. Whistle blows, Jack Widow's trying to make her way through. And the crowd is liking this. The Bells trying to get some points back up on the board.
Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. These girls work off the Videography too. That's right.
5 more points for Jack Widow, the captain of the Bells. We're in no pack. They have to let her go and reform the pack.
Jack Widow standing up, holding the big hits there. That's not easy to do, but she is a dedicated athlete to the sport. She's back around for 5 more points.
And we have a fancy pass, ladies and gentlemen. Scarier twins now are jamming.
So for those that don't know, the pivot, the one with the stripe on their helmet, can accept the star and thereby become the jammer. All right, folks, get out your 50-50 draw tickets. We're going to do this draw right now. We have our little buddy here. What's your name, buddy? Ben is going to draw our ticket out of a big bucket here. Pick a good one, Ben. Want to read the number really loud?
197457.
Okay, did everyone hear that? 50-50, 197457. Come and see us over here.
The funnels and slamma jamming. Brad is just holding on to slamma, not letting her pass.
You can see the hustle of Fondos down that straight, trying to make sure she stayed ahead. Successfully against lead jammer status.
Beautiful recycling happening for the villains right now.
Such an important part of any squad's maneuvers, making sure that you're always back out in front of the other team.
Even though your point may have been taken from you and scored on you, it still doesn't mean that you give up. You still get up and help your other blockers and try to save those points.
Tally Slammer trying to sneak her on the outside and then jukes in on the apex, and she's past the black wall.
Fondles stuck in that tangle of pink.
All right, so we have a winner. I met him earlier, but I totally can't remember his name. What's your name, brother? Michael Bicycle. Michael Bicycle, yeah, is the winner of $184.75. So thank you very much to all the people that supported our 50-50 draw.
I'm so jealous.
I know, maybe Michael Bicycle can take you out for a cold beverage.
Sean Rock, are you trying to set me up?
Just trying to get you out for a ride, that's all. On Michael's bicycle. So, what do we have going on here?
We've got a timeout happening right now.
And it looks like it's a timeout from Bells of the Brawl here.
Whether one of the Bells had left the box prematurely, and no, they did not.
I learned from a very early age to not leave the box prematurely, Skank Zappa.
Beautiful panty pass by the Bells. That was textbook, just beautiful.
It looked like that pep talk strictly about defense is really paying off. Because it looks like Red Girl's offense is really doing great.
Oh, did I say defense? I meant panty pass. That's what they were talking about. Now, the other thing about the panty pass that could be a deterrent is that you can have lead jammer, which means wife of Brad had lead jam status and she was able to call it off.
192, 135, according to our score girls here. Keep that wave going for them here, Beer Garden. You can see it coming, so let's see those hands in the air for your local derby girls. That's right. I remember when I went up and asked them what their names were, they're like, our real names or our derby names? I thought that was pretty cute.
All right, we've got Scary Jeanette, lead jammer. We've got Jack Widow chasing her down. Looks like there's lots of movement down the path. Nailers in the back trying to hold on Scary, but she gets past. Scary flies by the wall, taking the front and pulls off the jam.
Looks like perhaps the Bells snuck out a couple of points there. We'll see if they're added to the scoreboard. 11:42 left in this bout. Still got some time to check out the concessions. Still got some time to go grab yourself some merch. Definitely stopped by Cupcakes by Heather and Lori.
All right, some interesting action is happening right now. Jack Widow is just sent to the box and called an official review, probably on that call. Coaches and captains come into the center to speak with head ref Battle Cat, birthday girl.
It has been kind of an exceptionally fast game. At least the first half was really quick. A lot of times you see painfully slow official reviews all the time, but this game is moving along quite well.
That's very true. You know, not a lot of power jams either, which can really slow down the game.
And it can really result in big gaps as well in the score. 197, 136.
Maybe Feisty could come over and tell us what the official review is for.
You know who I love, Skanks Appa?
Who do you love?
I love Plenty O, the head non-skating official.
Plenty Official is one of my favorite people in the whole world.
She's pretty rad, I think. Let's have a round of applause for not only our skating refs, but our non-skating officials as well, people. Yeah. Even though we're supposed to know what's going on, we probably don't, but they do, and that's the only way this sport works. So thank you very much to all of our referees.
All right, so that official review was whether Jack Widow had actually cut or not. And as it turns out, she did. So she remains in the box.
The way the pair's going to go and you're trying to prepare for that deep, sometimes hard to block. The birthday girl, Scary Antoinette.
Nice hit to Scary, who has to come all the way back and enter the track behind her.
Trying to get Scary Antoinette as far back as possible. Hot Cross Buns is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Hot Cross Buns and the Bells of the Brawl. That's spectacular derby right there. So I just got reminded that beer ticket sales are going to end with 5 minutes left in the game. 5 minutes left in the game will end beer ticket sales. I may or may not be going over to try and get someone to buy me some tickets.
Got Dolly Stana, Fondall's jamming. Fondall's goes down, she goes out. Fondall's makes it out, lead jammer. And Slam is right behind her.
Fondles up front, Deli Slammer sneaking around trying to get those last few points here.
Slammer makes it through, makes the points. Fondles is not going to call it off. She wants those points from the bells in the back.
You can see the Margarita BoB is trying to set up on the line as
Mofo holding Fondles back, and Slammer makes it through again.
big fall at the end reminds us just how real this sport is, ladies and gentlemen. Nail her down, refusing to be left behind.
The villain's coach wanting Fondles to call it off. And she successfully calls it off before Slammer can make any points. Got a score update, the villains at 2:15. The bells at 1:49. Got just over 7 minutes left in this last period.
How many other roller derby skaters do we have in the crowd tonight? Can I see some hands up for other roller derby people? Nobody. There's one. One girl. I was talking earlier about stamina. This is the point of the game too, where you gotta dig the deepest to just keep that together, keep your focus intact when you have no adrenaline.
Pile up over by the penalty box.
You see the back and forth skating. Run out in front. I kind of like the showboating. I'm fully backing showboating. Ooh, Rip Curl stopped up there and then the double block. Calls off the jam. I'm excited for the dance party now. I like this song.
I love this song.
2:22, 1:51, 6 minutes left, 1 minute left to get yourself a beer ticket. Meet us at Logan's Pub for some autographs, conversation with your favorite derby girls.
Sean the Rock will give you his autograph if you buy him a drink.
Whoa, big hit there. It's also impressive to see how fast these girls can spring back up after they've been hit.
Hits and giggles coming up on the back. And hot cross buns. It's right there. Not letting them through. He gets called off. Smart move to do that before Jack Widow comes up and scores on all the villains in the back.
I don't know if I have any official photographer names, but we usually give a shout out to all the photographers that donate their time to document this sport. So thank you very much to all the photographers out there this evening. I haven't seen anyone take a picture of us yet, so if you could get on that, that would be great.
Sean the Rock will give you his autograph if you take a photo of him.
That was the ball, Rip Curl, refusing to give up. Big juke there by Rip Curl, and another one as she is fiercely trying to get there, and she does. I think it's okay to showboat even if you're not in the jam.
I think so too. As long as you're scoring points. We have a
then nothing.
I'll just leave you with that.
Scary Antoinette, birthday girl on the line against Jack Widow. Sweaty, tired, digging deep with only 3.5 minutes left in this second half.
The Bells have taken the back wall, whistle blows, they let through their jammer, and just immediately put smackdown once again.
Let's hear it for the Bells of Brawl. Jack Widow, your lead jammer, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, let's hear it. Give them some energy, folks.
Debater gives a couple of good hits to Jack Widow, and then she goes.
Really nice hustle there by the black jammer, specifically Velveeta Slicer, trying to go in for that last hit on Jack Widow, but to no avail.
Slicer is an amazing blocker for the villains, and I've seen her jam as well. It's not often that she does it, but when she does, she's patient, she's strong, she waits for the hole and makes it through. I wonder if we'll see Slicer jamming tonight.
Looks like we have Ruby D. Vixen out there jamming for the Bells of the Brawl. I don't know if I've seen her out there yet this evening, but let's hear it for 1-900 Ruby D. Vixen. Bells of the Brawl on a power jam, ladies and gentlemen. This is a chance for them to make up some points here. 2 minutes left. Ooh, Margarita villains not letting them push the play out of play very easily. Margarita villains on the way to the box. Ruby D. Vixen coming in on a scoring pass here. Ooh, stops dead in her tracks. That's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Right grab goes off, probably for a stop block, directional.
Looks like we have perhaps a full, yes, maybe a full Margarita villains penalty box.
Right grab will return to the track and play until a spot becomes available in the penalty box for her.
50 seconds left in this jam, 1 minute on the clock. We will get another jam. Ruby D. Vixen, another foul.
Let's hear it for Ruby!
Falls off the jam, just a little bit too late to keep the black jammer in the box. 40 seconds left in the game, just enough time for us to start this last jam. Gotta give a shout out to Adam Fuller. Happy birthday. I don't know who that is, but from Jack Widow, happy birthday.
I'd also like to give a happy birthday out to BoB from Salisbury Island. Jack Widow busts through that back. That's an 8 jam status.
unofficial favorite heating is